Hola, Colombia. Eight years ago, the streets of the capital of Guinea-Conakry were soaked with the blood from a mass murder. I was there. So let me tell you what happened that terrible day. A military junta had staged a coup d'etat, and a massive protest was planned at the National Stadium. The future of the country was in jeopardy. I ran around to the houses of my friends to get them to take part in the protest. We were so full of hope. Guineans of every political outlook and of every tribe came out to march and call on the government to organize free elections. But in a moment, what was supposed to be a peaceful demonstration turned into a bloody massacre. Government soldiers from Guinea Presidential Guard opened fire on us inside the stadium. Between 150 and 200 people were killed. Large number of women were dragged away and subjected to multiple rapes over many days. Some of them were even shot in their private parts. I had gone to the protest with 7 of my friends. Only 3 of us made it home. My remaining friends were killed. As I hid in a trench from the soldiers, a child was gunned down in front of my eyes. Drenched in blood, he died in my arms as I took him to the hospital. That night, all I could think of was that innocent child killed by the same people who were supposed to protect him. That night, I felt the presence of my friends. If only I had not encouraged them to go out. If only I had not encouraged them to go out and stand up for what is right, they would have still been alive with me today. This instilled in me a sense of guilt and made me hate my country. See, when I was a child in a neighboring country of Sierra Leone, I experienced war and conflict there too. My school was burned down by rebels. My family was forced to seek shelter in a tent in the mountains. Children I went to school with were forced to be child soldiers and kill people with AK-47s. It's been 8 years now since the Stadium massacre. The country is healing, but the challenges that led to the unfortunate day still remain, and it's hard to say we have a lasting peace. It seems that conflict and violence has followed me most of my life. I now believe the only way to achieve a sustainable peace is to provide a platform for the oppressed to voice their needs and concerns. We must provide a flat platform for the youth to be engaged in a political process. And yet, the government in Guinea has been reluctant to do this. That's why I established a new movement called La Jeunesse. We organize workshops, we support activists, and we give talks around the country to persuade the youth not to express their frustration and concerns through violence, but to peacefully engage in a social and political dialogue. We organize soccer leagues to attract their attendance and then invite them to engage in serious issues. We've established 3 centers across the country to train young Guineans to be champions of peace and leaders in their communities. More than 2,000 young Guineans are participating in our movement. We're working with 67 local schools and communities to provide the youth with a peaceful platform so that they can become part of the democratic process. Our main goal is to ensure that young Guineans are fully and peacefully engaged in the next presidential election in 2020. To those who say we are too young to be part of a peaceful solution, my word to you is this: if we're not too young to be soldiers or too young to be victims of conflict, we're not too young to be part of the peaceful solution. And to those who wonder about my passion for girls' education, here is your answer. Inspired by my mother, I proudly declare that I am a feminist. And I believe in girls' education and women empowerment. So, young men in the audience, don't be afraid of being a feminist. You can coexist with girls everywhere. One young world. If you have the same passion as I do, if you have the same energy as I do, if we do what we must do, then let's be change makers, not spectators. Thank you.